When you stop running on carbs by eating fat or by fasting and switch to ketones, something amazing happens that cleans up and rejuvenates your cells. It's called autophagy. Autophagy, a repair process. Think of it like sending your car in for a service. Your body knows how to do it. And what happens if you completely fast is your body switches on this repair process and it cleans up and repairs and replaces all the energy factories in your cells and all the defective cell parts. That is what the 5-day diet is all about, how to switch on autophagy for 5 days. It's called a fasting mimicking diet because it achieves everything a 5-day total water fast would achieve, but you will be eating food. The reasons to do this is that it supports your immunity. In animal studies, it has even reversed autoimmune disease. It is anti-cancer. It lowers the growth hormone called insulin-like growth factor. It rapidly repairs cells and mitochondria. And you'll experience this in the second week when you come off the diet with much more energy. It burns fat. It stabilizes your blood sugar. It reduces inflammation, it's anti-aging, it enhances brain function and may be very good for neurodegenerative brain diseases, and consequently would also be good for reversing diabetes and cardiovascular disease. I got really interested in this a few years ago when I saw studies taking animals with the irreversible autoimmune disease called type 1 diabetes, where they've lost the ability to make insulin. And by following this kind of diet for a period of 5 days, then 9 days off, and doing it 4 times, the animals actually grew back the beta cells in the pancreas that make insulin, thus reversing their type 1 diabetes. I had never seen that before. And as I dug deeper, I found out that in studies comparing this kind of diet with complete water fasting, in this case in inflammatory bowel disease, you actually got a reversal of the cellular damage. In other words, a renewal, a resetting, a rebooting of your whole system. So I ran an experiment on 14 people using this 5-day process, and we lost over half a person. We lost over 5 stone. Now that's the equivalent of 2.5 kg over 5 days. Actually, we've just finished another experiment in South Africa with 21 people, exactly the same results. Energy score went up from 5 out of 10 to 7.5 out of 10. Sleeping improved from 5.4 to 9.4 out of 10. Stress, anxiety, mental health score went from 3.8 up to almost 8 out of 10. Aches and pains also reduced. Nobody felt hungry, and nobody had keto flu, which is what many people report when they switch from running on glucose to running on ketones generated from fat. Yet everyone was in ketosis within 24 hours. In the book, I will suggest that you get hold of a Keto Scan Mini. You don't have to. The book will work without it. But if you blow into this simple device, it will tell you that you've switched your metabolism over into ketosis. And that's what we want to achieve for 5 days. Moira is an example. She lost about 8 pounds, 3.7 kg. She says, I was astonished at the results on so many levels. My energy levels and concentration are up. My digestion, which I was battling with, is greatly improved. I'm looking forward to doing this boost on a quarterly basis. P.S. The meal plan was so simple to follow and included delicious meals, so I never felt deprived. Would highly recommend this diet. Cheryl, she lost 3 kilos, 7 pounds. She says also the program was easy to follow, the recipes yummy, and the quantity of food more than enough. I never felt hungry or tired for the 5 days. I never had any sugar or caffeine cravings. I have also had no desire for an alcoholic drink despite lockdown and limited living space with 3 young adult kids. My skin feels better. Although normally a bad sleeper, my sleep was more restful. Currently, in the menopause, I'm on my way to controlling my weight and feeling good about food and myself. Going forward, I plan on doing the 5-day health boost monthly. I have replaced breakfast with the almond coffee latte. I love the drink. The drink keeps me filled till at least past noon. So one of the benefits in this process is that you actually have a gap of eating of a period of 18 hours between dinner at 7 and lunch at midday or 1 o'clock. Actually, there is a snack, but you start your morning with the hybrid latte, which you can have with coffee or decaf, and carb-free almond milk. And so it's like a latte, and it includes a magical ingredient which is called keto fast. Keto fast is what we call C8 oil or carbonate. You might have heard of MCT oil. Well, this is much, much better. And it's way better than coconut oil because it's actually this fraction of coconut oil called C8, which sends your ketone level up, and that's what you're going to be running on. Not glucose, but ketones. You see, I've been studying, and all of this is in the book, at least 20 different ways that you can switch on the self-repair process. Some nutrients like vitamin C and zinc and the B vitamin niacin help to do it. But there are also foods like olives and kale and broccoli and cabbage and certain mushrooms and herbs and spices from turmeric to ginger. All of these are included in the 5-day process. Also, you can't eat too much protein. So I've controlled the protein and the calories, got the carbs right down. Dairy products actually switch off autophagy. So too does muscle building or resistance exercise. So the diet is very precise, and you do need to follow it for it to work. After your hybrid latte in the morning, you're going to have a mid-morning snack. And we'll show you how to make your own kale crisps. I also like nori seaweed crispies. They're really good. So there are certain specialist foods. There's a shopping list. It's good to get prepared and buy these in advance. You're going to have lunch. Every day is different. For example, on this day, scrambled egg with asparagus, and it's quite precise quantities because we have to keep your calories down during this process. In the mid-afternoon, you can have a snack. There are options, but the most filling and low GL, it's only 4 GLs, is actually to have my Get Up and Go shake with Carboslow, a supersonic fiber, which you mix up with some berries and a carb-free milk, for example, almond milk, as you did with the hybrid latte. And then in the evening, there's a delicious and filling soup. On day 1, for example, it's this mushroom soup, but it doesn't matter if you don't like the soup on one day, you can swap it with the soup on another day. So every day you'll find a different soup for dinner, and there's even some little a dessert that you can have. But all of that's explained in the book. And similarly, if you don't like one lunch, you can swap it for another lunch. So there you have it. You're going to have the hybrid latte in the morning, a mid-morning snack, a lunch, a mid-afternoon snack, ideally the Get Up and Go with Carboslow, and then a soup, and then a little treat. So it's a very doable thing. Supplements make a very, very big difference. We're trying to switch your metabolism from running on glucose, think sugar, to running on ketones, think fat. But there's an amino acid called carnitine, which really helps that whole process of running on ketones to work. Chromium helps to stabilize your blood sugar. And there's an important nutrient that's found in a type of tamarind called HCA, or hydroxycitric acid. And this is really key. These 3 are contained within GL support. So taking GL support throughout the 5-day process is all part of the package. Now, the reason for including things like this is that HCA actually promotes autophagy. So, for example, in a study on animals, giving HCA, it triggered the same level of this self-repair process, autophagy, that was produced by a total starvation diet. So we are learning how to trigger your body's natural self-repair without punishment. So there are certain supplements that you need to get that are included in this process. That plus the food for 5 days is the 5-day diet. It's the most rapid way to supercharge your energy, boost your health, rejuvenate your body, and also lose weight.